with me from other presentations. I want to just briefly introduce my own background here. I've worked at 3 different institutions here in the US. I've served in a leadership position at all 3 of those institutions. They're all different, and it's given me a really nice understanding of the cross-section of college admissions in the US. Throughout my decade in college admissions, I personally reviewed and was responsible in my own region for over 30,000 applications. I was fortunate when I was at Lehigh University that I was invited down to the University of Pennsylvania, where at that time they were just rolling out their committee-based evaluation feedback model, whereby 2 readers are reading the same app at the same time. I was invited down with colleagues from Amherst, Swarthmore, and a few other schools to review that model. So I have really good understanding of, specifically how Penn does their work. But of course, this was a new model that got rolled out by many institutions across the country, and I have a good understanding of how that works. I was fortunate when I was the director of admissions at Cornell for the College of Arts and Sciences. I was unaware, actually, prior to getting to Cornell, that every 2 years, the Ivy League colleges and universities, plus MIT, Duke, and Stanford, this is called the Ivy Plus group, they get together on one of the college campuses every 2 years, and they have an enrollment summit, usually 3 or 4 days, where the deans and directors from each of those schools are reviewing all aspects of enrollment management. I can just imagine what that meeting is going to be like post Supreme Court decision. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of conversation around procedures and protocols related to diversity. But I have a really good understanding of, of course, all of the Ivy League plus MIT, Duke, and Stanford, just based on the fact that we hosted it in Ithaca when I was there in 2017. I had access to all of the deans and directors, plus because it was in Ithaca, my whole staff was there. So I had an opportunity to have my team sit in on all the presentations and take notes. Finally, I was appointed as an Ivy League admissions director at the age of 32. And I'm really proud of that, mostly not because of the age, but because of the way I got there, right? And the way I got there was I had a perspective, I had a story, right, about how I impacted Lehigh University's college admissions team and their data. And I told that story at Cornell, and I was successful in getting the job, and I was successful when I had the job. And so now we segue to students, and it's really the same thing. We're talking about a story, right? How do we tell a story about their unique experiences that will differentiate them in this process? While I was the director, of course, I had the final review authority of over 20,000 apps per year for the College of Arts and Sciences. I did supervise our staff of 80% PhD who were used to be faculty. And then I hired and trained over 40 application readers per year at Cornell, a few less per year when I was at Lehigh, but having trained many application readers throughout my career.